Here is exactly how your cat apologizes to you, and chances are, you have overlooked it every single time. Imagine this scenario. Your cat has just swiped your favorite mug off the counter. It crashes onto the kitchen tiles, shattering into pieces. You stare at them, your frustration bubbling up, and they just stare right back at you. There is no look of guilt, no cowering in the corner, absolutely nothing. They simply turn around, give a flick of their tail, and saunter away as if nothing occurred. Does that sound familiar? But what if I told you that in that precise moment, and in dozens of moments following it, your cat was actually apologizing to you, and you missed the message entirely? Before we jump into this eye-opening revelation, let me welcome you properly. Welcome to Meowrange, our cozy, podcast-style corner of the internet where we share intriguing facts, touching stories, and unexpected insights about our beloved felines. Consider this your go-to coffee break chat about all things cat, grounded in actual scientific research and a genuine passion for these enigmatic animals. So, pour your tea, get comfortable with your kitty if they are around, and let's discover something beautiful together. Here is the truth that is about to shift your entire perspective. Cats have been utilizing an ancient language of apology that has developed over thousands of years of living alongside humans. It is nuanced, it is complex, and it has been happening right under your nose. By the time this video ends, you will never view your cat in the same light again. Your connection with them is about to deepen infinitely. Now, before we continue, I have a small favor to ask. Please hit that subscribe button and leave a like on this video. But I am not asking for the sake of the channel. I am asking for your cat. The information you are about to receive will fundamentally alter how you interact with them. Every like and subscription helps us find more cat owners who desperately need to decipher what their feline companions have been trying to say. Your cat deserves to be understood. Mine does too. And so does every cat watching this alongside their human right now. Click that button. Trust me, it's worth it. Let me introduce you to Sarah. She had lived with her cat, Oliver, for 3 years. She loved him dearly, but she couldn't shake the nagging suspicion that he didn't care for her in the same way she cared for him. One evening, Oliver leaped onto her desk and knocked her laptop onto the floor. It caused $1,200 worth of damage. Sarah shouted. She really raised her voice, and Oliver bolted. She didn't see him for the rest of the evening. When he finally crept out from under the bed, he refused to come near her. She went to sleep that night feeling like she was living with a beautiful, selfish roommate who only tolerated her because she provided food. Does that story resonate with you? Have you ever felt that your cat is incapable of remorse? Leave a comment below and share a time you felt that way. I will reply to every single one because this is important. Here is the truth that will liberate you. The entire idea that cats do not experience guilt is scientifically flawed. Let me be absolutely precise about this. That common belief stems from a fundamental misinterpretation of how cats display complex feelings. Research conducted at the University of Lincoln in 2015 investigated feline cognition and social behavior, and their findings were astounding. Cats absolutely engage in reconciliation behaviors following a dispute. They simply do not perform them the way dogs do. Because we have been trained to look for canine apologies, the sad puppy dog eyes, the cowering, the obvious groveling. We have been blind to the elegant, understated ways cats convey the exact same sentiment. Japanese researchers focusing on cat behavior have recorded what they term affiliative behaviors that spike specifically after a human-cat conflict. These actions are not random. They are calculated. They are intentional. Your cat isn't cold or unfeeling. You just haven't been taught their vocabulary until today. So, let's discuss the first signal, the one you have witnessed 1,000 times without comprehending. Have you ever caught your cat looking straight at you, holding your gaze, and then slowly, deliberately closing their eyes? Not a normal blink, and not looking away, but a slow, heavy, almost exaggerated closing of both eyes? That is not them being sleepy. That isn't boredom. That is your cat's primary method of saying, I trust you. I am vulnerable with you. And yes, I am sorry. The slow blink is arguably the most well-documented form of feline-human communication. Dr. Karen McComb and her team at the University of Sussex released groundbreaking research in 2020 regarding cat-eye communication. What they uncovered was extraordinary. Cats have evolved this specific behavior, the slow blink, as a mechanism to signal positive emotion and non-threatening intent to humans. When a cat slow blinks at you, they are effectively disarming themselves. In the wild, closing your eyes in the presence of another is dangerous. It signifies absolute trust. But here is what turns it into an apology: the context. When your cat slow blinks at you shortly after a fight, after you have raised your voice, after they have done something they know angered you, after the air is thick with tension, that is different from a casual, sleepy blink. It is more purposeful. They will often approach you first, placing themselves in your line of sight, and then deliver that long, slow blink. They are gauging your reaction. They are asking, "Are we okay?" Because I want us to be okay. Think back to Oliver and Sarah. After the laptop disaster, Oliver eventually emerged from under the bed around midnight. Sarah was reading, still fuming. Oliver hopped onto the arm of her chair, not in her lap, just close by. And when she glanced at him, he looked right at her and slow blinked. She assumed he was just tired. She had no clue he was apologizing. She didn't realize he was seeking reassurance that their bond was not broken. How often has your cat done this exact thing, and you missed it? The reason this is so profound is that cats are not like dogs. They did not evolve to wear their hearts on their sleeves. They are semi-social animals who domesticated themselves while holding onto much of their independent spirit. They developed subtle communication because, in their world, subtlety equated to survival. A slow blink doesn't expose you to a threat the way cowering does. It is sophisticated, it is dignified, and it demands that you pay attention. However, the slow blink is merely the opening act. It is the foundation. Because what your cat does next, what they do with their body, with their physical presence, is so nuanced, so ancient in its roots, that most people write it off as random activity. Some people even find it irritating. But when you grasp what it actually signifies, when you decode the profound message they are transmitting, your heart will melt. The language of touch you have never noticed. Recall that mysterious body language we alluded to? The thing your cat does that appears random, perhaps even a bit bothersome at times. What I am about to reveal has been hiding in plain sight, occurring every single day. And you have been walking right past one of the most beautiful demonstrations of feline love and apology that exists. Let's discuss a scenario you have definitely encountered. You have had a rough interaction with your cat. Maybe you accidentally trod on their tail. Maybe you had to administer medication and they hated it. Maybe they clawed the sofa and you scolded them. The tension is palpable. The atmosphere feels off. And then, seemingly out of the blue, your cat walks up to you and bonks their head against your leg, or your hand, or your face if you are sitting down. They press their forehead into you, sometimes with enough force that you feel the pressure. Then they do it again and again, rubbing their cheeks along your skin, pushing their entire face against you as if they are trying to merge with you. Most people assume this is just cute cat behavior, some sort of quirky affection. But what if I told you this is one of the most profound apologies in the animal kingdom? This behavior is known as head bunting or head bumping, and it is rooted in something deeply scientific and even more deeply emotional. Your cat possesses scent glands on their face, specifically on their temples, around the corners of their mouth, and under their chin. These glands secrete pheromones that are unique to your cat. When they rub their face against you, they are not just being cuddly. They are marking you with their scent. They are literally claiming you as part of their family unit. Dr. Sharon Crowell Davis, a veterinary behaviorist who has dedicated decades to studying feline social behavior, explains that head bunting serves multiple functions in cat communication. In households with multiple cats, they will head bunt one another to generate a colony scent, a communal smell that identifies who belongs to the tribe. When your cat does this to you, they are inducting you into their colony. They are saying, "You are mine, you are family, you belong with me." But here is where it transforms into an apology. Observe when it happens. After there has been a conflict, after there has been friction, your cat will often initiate head bunting with a different quality than their casual, everyday rubs. It is more deliberate, more insistent. They will make eye contact first, sometimes utilizing that slow blink we discussed. And then they will approach and push their head into you with intent. They might do it several times in succession, switching from forehead to cheek, ensuring they have thoroughly scented you. They are actively working to reestablish the bond. They are saying, regardless of what just happened, I want to ensure we are still us. I want to ensure you still belong to me and I still belong to you. I received a message from a viewer named Marcus who shared the most touching anecdote. His cat, Luna, is typically very independent. She will head bunt him occasionally, but it is usually brief and casual. One day, Marcus had to take Luna to the vet for her shots. She was terrified, and afterward, she hid under the bed for hours. Marcus felt awful. He knew she was frightened, and he felt like the villain for putting her through it. That evening, Luna finally emerged. She walked straight up to Marcus, looked at him for a long moment, and then spent the next 5 minutes rubbing her face all over his hands, his arms, and even his face. Over and over again. Marcus said it felt different, more urgent, more emotional. He didn't know it at the time, but Luna was remarking him. She was saying, "I was scared, but I know you are still safe. We are still family. I forgive you, and I need you to know we are okay." How many times has your cat done this to you after a stressful event? How many times have you dismissed it as just random affection, not realizing they were actively repairing your bond? But there is another apology signal that is even more misunderstood, and it has been wagging right in front of your face. Your cat's tail is a complex communication system, and there is one specific position that manifests after a conflict that most people miss completely. When your cat approaches you with their tail held straight up, but with just the very tip curved forward like a question mark, they are showing you something vulnerable and significant. Jackson Galaxy, one of the world's most renowned cat behavior experts, has extensively documented tail communication in cats. That question mark tail? It is an approach signal. It signifies, "I am coming to you in a friendly manner. I am not a threat. I am opening myself up to interaction." The straight-up tail indicates confidence and positive emotion. But that little curve at the tip? That is the softener. That is the vulnerability. It is the difference between a statement and a question. When this tail position appears after you have had a conflict with your cat, the message becomes even more specific. They are approaching you in the most non-threatening way possible. They are not slinking with their tail low, which would suggest fear. They are not puffing it up, which would suggest they are still defensive. They are coming to you with confidence, yes, but also with that little hook that says, "I'm not sure where we stand, and I want to fix this." It is your cat's version of waving a white flag. And here is the detail most people overlook. When a cat approaches with this question mark tail after a conflict, they will often come at you from the side rather than head-on. They will curve their approach, presenting their flank to you. This is not random. In cat communication, a direct frontal approach can feel confrontational. A side approach with that question mark tail held high is the feline equivalent of walking over with your hands up, showing you mean peace. They are literally displaying their vulnerable side. They are saying, "Look, I am not being aggressive. I am not defending myself. I am just here, and I hope we are good." But wait, there is another apology behavior that is going to absolutely surprise you. In fact, when I first learned this, I had to sit with it for a while because it completely reframed something I thought was just odd cat behavior. You know those times when your cat brings you things? Not just prey, although we will get to that, but toys, random objects? Your cat brings you their favorite mouse toy and drops it at your feet. Or they show up with a piece of crinkled paper they have been playing with. This happens more frequently after there has been tension between you two. And most people think it is just play behavior, or maybe the cat wanting attention. But research from the University of Georgia studying cat behavior patterns found something fascinating. Cats engage in what researchers call prosocial behavior, actions intended to benefit another individual. When cats bring objects to their humans, especially after a conflict, it is not random. It is an offering. It is a gift. It is their way of trying to please you, of trying to contribute something positive to the relationship. Now here is the controversial one, and I need you to hear me out on this. Sometimes cats bring prey, or for indoor cats, toys that represent prey. And yes, part of this is instinctual hunting behavior. But when it happens specifically after you have been upset with them, after there has been a conflict, there is something else going on. They are not just being cats. They are trying to provide for you. They are trying to show you they are valuable members of the family. They are trying to make amends by offering you something they consider precious. The key is how you respond. Never reject these offerings. Even if it is a toy you have seen 1,000 times, even if it is, let's be honest, something less pleasant, acknowledge it. Thank them. Show appreciation, because in that moment, your cat is being vulnerable. They are trying to repair things in the only way they know how. Think about all these signals together. the head bunts, the question mark tail, the offerings. Your cat has been speaking to you this whole time. But there is something they do with their voice, specific sounds that carry specific meanings, that will absolutely change how you hear them forever. The secret sounds of remorse. Close your eyes for a moment and think about the sounds your cat makes. The meows you hear every day, the purring when they are content, the occasional chirp at birds through the window. Some of them you recognize instantly. You know what they mean. But others? They have been apologies disguised as ordinary sounds, and you have been hearing them your entire life without knowing what they really meant. Let me introduce you to a sound that is going to change everything. It is soft, rolling, almost musical. It sounds like BRRP or MERPA, somewhere between a purr and a meow, but shorter, lighter, almost questioning. Some people call it a trill, others call it a chirrup. And if you have ever heard your cat make this sound, especially after there has been tension between you, you have just heard one of the most emotionally intelligent vocalizations in the feline vocabulary. This sound has a fascinating origin. Mother cats use this exact trill to communicate with their kittens. It is a greeting, yes, but it is also a reassurance. It means, I am here, you are safe, follow me. Everything is okay. Dr. John Bradshaw from the University of Bristol, who has studied cat behavior and communication for over 30 years, documented how adult cats repurpose this maternal vocalization when interacting with humans. Think about that for a second. Your cat is using the same sound their mother used to comfort them as babies. They are speaking to you in the language of safety and family. But here is what makes it an apology. Listen to when it happens. After you have had a conflict, after your cat has been hiding or keeping their distance, they will often emerge and make this sound as they approach you. It is usually accompanied by that question mark tail we talked about. They will trill at you, sometimes repeatedly, until you acknowledge them. The tone is slightly higher after a conflict. Tentative. They are essentially asking, are we good? Can I come close? Do you still love me? It is vulnerable. It is hopeful. And it is absolutely heartbreaking when you realize what it means. I want you to watch for this. The next time there is any kind of tension with your cat, you stepped on their paw by accident, you were late with dinner, whatever it might be, listen for that trill when they come back to you. When you hear it, acknowledge them. Say something back. Use a gentle voice. Because your cat is literally asking if you are still their safe person. And they need to know the answer is yes. Tell me in the comments. Have you heard your cat make this sound? Did you know what it meant? I will respond to everyone because I want to hear your stories. I want to know the moment you realized your cat had been speaking this language all along. But the trill isn't the only vocal apology. There is another sound that is even more sophisticated, even more deliberately tailored to reach your human heart. And you hear it every single day. Your cat meows at you constantly, right? Short meows, long meows, insistent meows. We tend to think of them all the same way, just cat sounds. But there is a specific pattern of meowing that happens after conflict, and once you learn to recognize it, you will never unhear it. These are short, repeated meows with an upward inflection. They are softer than demanding meows, less insistent, almost questioning. Mew, 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 with that rising tone at the end of each one. Here is what makes this absolutely fascinating. Research by Karen McComb at the University of Sussex, yes, the same researcher who studied slow blinking, discovered that cats actually modulate their vocalization specifically for individual humans. They have studied you, they know what works, and they adjust their voice accordingly. When these modulated meows happen after a conflict, when they come with specific body language, a lowered posture, ears forward and attentive, slow approach, your cat isn't just trying to manipulate you for food or attention. They are trying to reach you emotionally. They are using the voice they know affects you most, and they are asking for reassurance. The repetition is important, too. They will keep meowing in that pattern until you respond, until you show them that the connection is still there. Picture this. Your cat knocked over a plant. Soil is everywhere. You raised your voice, maybe more than you meant to. Your cat disappeared. An hour later, they peek around the corner. Their body is low. Their tail has that question mark curve. And they start with those soft, repetitive, upward inflected meows. They aren't asking for food. They are asking for forgiveness. They are asking if you still love them. Your cat has literally learned to modulate their voice to reach your heart specifically. That is an instinct. That is emotional intelligence. That is relationship maintenance. That is love. But here is something that is going to surprise you, maybe even confuse you at first. Sometimes the most powerful apology from your cat comes in complete and utter silence. Think about this scenario. You have had a conflict with your cat. They have been keeping their distance, and you have been feeling bad about it. Then, quietly, without announcement, your cat appears. They don't meow. They don't trill. They just position themselves near you. Maybe on the other end of the couch, maybe on the floor a few feet away. They aren't demanding attention. They aren't asking for anything. They are just there. This is presence as an offering. Studies on feline social behavior have shown that cats use physical nearness as a way to maintain and repair relationships. When cats are bonded, whether to other cats or to humans, they will choose to be in the same space even when they are not directly interacting. After a conflict, when your cat quietly positions themselves near you without fanfare, they are doing something incredibly meaningful. They are saying, "I still want to be close to you, even if I am not ready for full contact yet. I still choose you. I am still here." Look at the subtle signals. Their body is oriented toward you, not away. They will glance at you occasionally, checking if you are noticing them. Their posture gradually relaxes the longer they stay near you without incident. This isn't indifference. This isn't a cat who doesn't care. This is respect for space combined with a clear desire to reconnect. It is your cat saying, "I am here when you are ready," without using a single word. Have you ever felt like your cat was giving you the cold shoulder after an argument, only to realize later they had been in the same room the whole time, just quietly existing near you? That wasn't coldness. That was an apology. That was them maintaining the bond in the gentlest way possible. If you have ever felt like your cat doesn't care, if you have ever felt like they are indifferent to your emotions, I need you to hear this. They do care. They care deeply. They just speak a different language. And now you are becoming fluent. But here is where everything we have talked about, every signal, every sound, every subtle gesture, comes together into something bigger, something that will fundamentally change how you understand your relationship with your cat. It isn't just something your cat does. It is something they create. It is a pattern, a sequence, a ritual. And once you recognize it, once you see it happening in real time, your relationship will never be the same. The invisible ritual and how to respond every signal we have discussed, the slow blinks, the head bunts, the trills, the silent presence, they are all part of something much bigger. Something that reveals just how sophisticated your cat's emotional world truly is. What I am about to share is the culmination of everything, and it is going to transform how you see your feline friend forever. Here is the truth. Your cat doesn't just do these things randomly. They create sequences. They perform rituals. After a conflict, cats will often engage in what researchers call reconciliation patterns, deliberate combinations of multiple behaviors in a specific order, designed specifically to repair the bond between you. Let me paint you a picture of what this looks like in real life. There has been tension. Maybe you had to clip your cat's nails, and they hated every second of it. Maybe you accidentally closed the door on their tail. Whatever happened, your cat retreated. Time passes. Then, slowly, deliberately, your cat begins the ritual. First, they position themselves where you can see them, but at a distance. They are watching you, waiting for eye contact. When you finally look at them, they give you that slow blink. That is step one. Then they approach, but not directly. They curve their path, coming at you from the side with that question mark tail held high. That is step two. When they reach you, they stop just within reach and give you that soft trill. Meowp? They are asking permission. That is step three. If you respond positively, they move closer and begin the head bunting, rubbing their face against your hand, marking you as family again. That is step four. Finally, they settle near you, sometimes in your lap, sometimes just beside you, and the tension dissolves completely. This isn't random behavior. This is your cat actively, deliberately working to repair your relationship. Research from the University of Kyoto studying feline social cognition found that cats demonstrate what scientists call theory of mind, a basic understanding that others have thoughts and feelings different from their own. When your cat performs this ritual, they are not just following instinct. They are recognizing that something went wrong, that you might still be upset, and they are taking specific steps to make it right. Think about what this means. Your cat understands emotional cause and effect. They know their actions have consequences. They know relationships require maintenance. This is sophisticated emotional intelligence. Your cat has been doing emotional labor this whole time, and most people never even notice. So how do you respond correctly? Because here is the thing. Your response determines whether your cat will continue to be emotionally vulnerable with you. If you ignore these signals, if you brush them off, if you stay angry or dismissive, your cat learns that emotional vulnerability doesn't work. They will stop trying. But if you respond appropriately, you teach them that it is safe to express emotions, safe to repair conflicts, safe to be in a genuine relationship with you. Step 1. Recognize the signals verbally. When your cat slow blinks at you, say something. It doesn't matter what. I see you. Hey buddy, we're okay. Just use a calm, gentle tone. Cats are incredibly attuned to vocal tone, and they will recognize that you are responding. Step 2. Mirror their behaviors. When they slow blink, blink back slowly. When they head bunt you, gently pet them in the areas they are rubbing. You are showing them that you speak their language, that you are engaged in this reconciliation too. Step 3. Respect their pace. Don't force contact. Don't grab them if they are still approaching cautiously. Let them come to you. Let them set the speed of reconciliation. This builds trust exponentially. Step 4. Reset emotionally. This is the hardest part for humans. We hold grudges. We stay irritated. But cats live in the present moment. Once they have performed their apology ritual, they are ready to move forward. You need to do the same. Let it go. Common mistakes to avoid. Never ignore these signals completely. Never stay visibly angry or cold after they have reached out. Never force physical affection when they are still in the cautious approach phase. These mistakes break trust and teach your cat that emotional communication doesn't work. When you get this right, when you respond to your cat's apologies appropriately, something magical happens. Behavioral problems often decrease because your cat feels more secure. The bond deepens because you are communicating bidirectionally. Your cat becomes more emotionally expressive because they know you understand them. You aren't just a food provider anymore. You are family in the truest sense. Someone they can have complex emotional exchanges with. Someone they can trust with their vulnerability. Research on stress reduction in cats has shown that when humans respond appropriately to feline communication signals, cats exhibit lower cortisol levels, fewer anxiety behaviors, and stronger attachment patterns. Think about everything we have covered together. Those gentle, slow blinks that you thought were sleepiness. The head bumps you dismissed as random affection. The soft trills you barely noticed. The question mark tail you never gave a second thought to. The silent presence you interpreted as indifference. Every single one of them has been your cat speaking to you. Every single one has been your cat saying, I love you. I am sorry. Are we okay? Please tell me we are okay. You now speak cat in ways most people never will. You understand a language that has been evolving for thousands of years of domestication. A language specifically designed to bridge the gap between feline and human hearts. So here is what I want you to do. Watch your cat today. Really watch them. Pay attention to the moments after any tension, any conflict, any stress. Notice the patterns. Notice the rituals. Notice how hard your cat is working to maintain your relationship. And when you see it, when you finally, truly see it, respond. Acknowledge them. Meet them in that vulnerable space. Show them that their emotional labor matters, that their apologies are heard, that their love is reciprocated. If this video changed how you see your feline friend, if it opened your eyes to a whole language you have been missing, subscribe to Meowrange so we can keep exploring these beautiful mysteries together. Share this with someone who loves their cat. They need to understand this too. And leave a comment telling me about your cat's apology ritual. What do they do? I will respond to every comment because your stories matter. Until next time, give your cat an extra slow blink from all of us here at Meowrange. Because now you understand, every day, in 100 tiny ways. Your cat has been saying, I love you, and I'm sorry, and you will never miss it again.